Realising our move to France came earlier than expected. Come with us and enjoy watching the trials and tribulations that have occurred. Follow me, Jo Harris, my husband Steve, and our gorgeous fox red Labrador Morse, and our beautiful Bright on our journey to integrate into French society. Bon courage! So much excitement is about to happen. But first, Zoe and my grandson George arrive from Australia. These two beauties just fill my heart with love. And as you can imagine, there was a lot of emotion in number 4 over the next few weeks. Right, this is Zosner! Looking stinky! And she's just dropped something, I don't know what it is. But we've just picked her up from tours, and oh my god, you don't look horrible, you look amazing.
It was a long, long journey.
It was, wasn't it? And funnily enough, George went to sleep 2 minutes ago. But bless him. But we'll get you in, and
now I'm famous.
You are famous. I'm just pouring Zoe a nice glass of French tea. This is Zoe, my eldest daughter. She's come all the way. Cheers, by the way. Cheers. After that sip. All the way from Australia. And we were all exhausted. We drove to pick her up from a gare near Tours. You had to do that face when you say gare. Which is 2 hours away. So it feels like a bit of a trip, but Zoe's just done 24 hours on an aeroplane, or 2 aeroplanes. So
Exhausted with a 1-year-old in tow.
Yes.
But we are here.
George!
And we're alive.
You are alive. You are alive.
Welcome,
And welcome.
welcome to France. Welcome to number 4.
Yeah.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Bienvenue au numéro 4.
Merci. Bonjour.
De rien.
Okay,
Hello.
we'll see you later after Zoe's had a little sleep, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Chin chin.
Cheers.
Santé.
Bye.
Bye.
So, after an almost good night's sleep, George made himself at home, showing off his dance moves. This is the first time that I've seen him in the flesh, and as you can imagine, it was love at first sight. But there was so much more to come. After the inevitable shopping trip, showing off the sights of the local supermarket, it was back home for a well-earned cup of tea and croissant. George decided to investigate the garden with the help of the incredibly well-behaved Bright. She seemed to realise that George was somehow special and treated him with much more respect than she does us. Then it was an early night, as the next morning was the much-anticipated Heritage Day at the Château de Montmagny. It was a beautiful day. The sun shone down on us as we ambled across the chateau's ground, soaking up its gentle ambience and warm aura. It was very well supported, with lots of fabulous stalls selling all kinds of artisans' work. The summer kitchen provided a barbecue and cool drinks, and there was even a distant glimpse of the dancing chef. Ted and I did another stint, which was great fun. Everyone enjoyed themselves, even if a little jet-lagged.
Oh, where you gonna sleep tonight? Shall I ask you? Where you gonna sleep?
In me pig shed.
Woo!
Then there was time for another cup of tea and a well-deserved piece of lemon cake before heading back to number 4. Another early night, as Amy was arriving the next day. This is the first time I've had my 2 beautiful girls together for 3 years, but even more than that, we were off in a few days' time to travel back to England for a family wedding. We decided to drive, and we passed through Saint-Sulpice-le-Fouilles with its summer decorations of numerous flags, catching the wind and leaving pastel shades on the road beneath. They looked so pretty, fluttering in the morning breeze, but we had a huge journey ahead. The 6-hour drive flew by until...
We are in England, and it's raining.
So now, with the addition of my gorgeous son Jake, all my children are together for the first time in 3 years. I am sorry, I was being rather indulgent here, but it was so emotional to see them all together and looking so happy and healthy. It was fabulous to see my family too at the wedding, all dressed up and smiling, to celebrate a truly magical day. My niece Olivia looked so beautiful, and her dashing new husband Tom made the day so special with his fantastic speech and her superb song. As you may have noticed, we are a family of singers. I am afraid we all play up to the camera too, so you can imagine the fun we had. I think the champagne helped too. But all of a sudden it was over and I had to say goodbye. It was a long, long drive back on my own, and I got a speeding ticket just the other side of Paris, as I was so anxious to get home. So, on a cold and frosty morning, well, it's not frosty, but it's pretty chilly, we're off to Limoges, aren't we, darling?
We are, darling.
Basically, we have been sleeping upstairs over the summer, which has been either boiling hot or just right. And the last couple of mornings, it's just been so cold that we've decided we've got to either move back downstairs over the next month, which we really don't want to do because it's such a gorgeous room, or we need to put some insulation in there temporarily because we can't do the roof over the winter. So Steve came up with this great idea that perhaps if we put a log burner in the chimney, it would make it a bit warmer in there. So we're going to have a quick look around Limoges today. There's a place that sells second-hand log burners, so we're going to have a look to see if we can find one that we like. And then what are you going to do?
So we'll knock a hole in the chimney breast big enough for the flue to go into. Depending on what we can find second hand, we can't really afford a new one because they're nearly €2,000, some of them. So we're going to go and see if we can find a second hand one, and we'll knock a hole in the chimney, put a flue into the chimney breast. We're going to make a hearth for it to stand on, because at the moment it's just oak floorboards upstairs and we don't want the oak floorboards getting too hot. So we've got a bit of work to do to get it up and working, but I think it'll make a huge difference to upstairs because we insulated all the floors when we did them. I'm sure you've all seen the vlogs of those being done. So we insulated the floors really well, so there won't be much heat rising from downstairs into the upstairs like there was before we did the ceilings. So we've got to come up with a plan to keep warm, or like Joe says, move back downstairs, which neither of us really want to do. So we're off in the van today to see if we can find a little fire, or a big fire even.
So yes, and it is a beautiful morning. It is almost frosty.
Yeah. Just on a side note, I got here yesterday on my way to Ted and Lisa's, and there were about 20 little boar in the road.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I couldn't see any big mummies or daddies or anywhere, but the boar were probably as big as Bright.
Oh gosh!
But there were lots and lots
of them. That's
more,
amazing.
More than 15, I think.
Wow. So here we are in Limoges. We've come to a place called Occasions to see if they've got a log burner. but you never know. So, this is a bit of a reclamation. Oh, that's nice. Oh no, want that. So, a bit of a reclamation centre, really. It's got loads of things. It's one of these places, they're so exciting, you really have to delve through. Oh, I like that. Oh, it's a bit manky.
A bit modern.
It's very modern. Isn't that polystyrene at the top?
No, it's just a paint.
Oh, it's resin.
It needs refinishing, but no, it's too nice.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
modern.
we're not here looking for that.
No. So a very nice lady just told us that you go down there to the next barn, the dernier, and then it's on the left and the right. So we are going to look. So this is another side of this place. We haven't seen anything yet, but there's lots of doors and things. So I'm sure you could get a real bargain in here, but I don't. There's nothing. A couple of tuk-tuks. So nothing that we really got our brains set on.
Good morning, YouTube world.
It's a beaut. Beautiful morning. Look at it.
Yeah, it's
Look, this is rocking everywhere.
9 o'clock or so, 9:15 on a
Yeah,
9.
gorgeous.
No, 20 to 10 on a
Saturday morning.
So this is the creation.
Well, you saw us the other day going off excitedly to find a log burner, which we thought we might be able to find a second-hand one at the Brocante, but we came back with a zilch, even though we drove hundreds of miles to a Brocante, and then we drove back north again to another shop which didn't have any. They were advertised that they'd got loads, but they didn't have any. Oh, dogs are barking. So anyway, so we've managed to actually buy a new one, not for nearly as much as we thought it would be. And Steve is now making a plinth to go on the floor, which this is for the bedroom upstairs. So it's starting to look good.
So there's no oaks around, obviously. Where did we get the oak?
In the
We
barn.
found it in the barn. Nice thick piece of plywood. It's on a gentle slope actually, because the floor upstairs is not absolutely flat, but we want this plinth to be flat so that when you open the door to the log burner, it doesn't either swing shut because it's tilted one way or swing open because it's tilted the other way. So I wanted to get this absolutely level.
Good plan.
So I put it all together loosely, took it upstairs, dry fit, just tried it for size and everything. It was great. So inset in here is going to be Temet tiles like those red ones over there. So now I've brought it back out to do a bit of frou-frou. So if you come around this side, my darling, you'll see that I'm drilling out the holes where the screws go in, rebaiting the screws back in a bit further and filling them with oak dowels. So once this glue goes off, I can sand these back flush with this, and you will probably not even see the holes.
That looks great.
So I've got 2 more to do, 1 on each side, and then this can go back upstairs and I can start tiling to see how I actually make the plugs.
Oh, yes, please.
Right, follow me.
As we walk into the barn, which is, oh yes, this load of wood turned up as well. And this is 1.5, whatever the word is, steer. And we've got another 3.5 coming.
Steer is a cubic metre of wood, and that equates to about a ton of wood. So this is about 1.5 tons of logs in there, and we've got 2.5 tons coming.
Yeah, so don't know where that's coming from, when that's going to stack. Maybe in the other side that we've now cleared, but there's all sorts in there already. Nothing stays clear very long.
Right, so this little gizmo is a plug cutter, and you put it in your pillar drill so that it's nice and vertical, And those teeth go into the timber, and as you pull it back out, you'll see. So this is a 10mm one. What I've got in the pillar drill at the moment is a 12mm one. So this is an offcut of the wood that I used to build that in the first place, so it's the same wood. Because it's oak, it grips it really, you have to do it really slowly. Remember, this is not a drill, this is just wearing its way through the oak. And then once you're down deep enough, you take your piece of oak, step back a bit, darling. You tap the dust out of it. You get a screwdriver and you pop your plug out.
Wow.
And that's your plug ready to go in.
That's cool.
So you drill a corresponding hole. So this is a 12mm plug, so I drill an 11.5mm hole, smear some glue around it, and then just hammer it in until it's not quite flush. Because then once the glue's dried off, you just sand it down flush with the surface of the thing you're trying to fill.
Oh, amazing.
And you try and line the grain up the same as the grain in the thing that you're plugging.
That's very intricate and specialised. I think a lot of people wouldn't bother to do that, but it does make it look...
screws showing.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'd never sleep.
So this is the the hearth now upstairs. Gosh, it is so lovely. It really, the film really doesn't do it justice. The colours are just so beautiful, and the surround that Steve has made. So this has all come from stuff in the barn. The wood, the tiles, these lovely tiles with little circles on them. I don't know if you can see. They are just so pretty. Their colours are lovely. So gorgeous. What a clever chap. So this is the fire. We had to take it apart because it was just so heavy. So we couldn't get it up the stairs, and basically, you know, we can't get anything up the stairs really because I'm so weak. But oh, it's fabulous. So I can't wait to see it in situ. It's going to look really, really good. So I don't know if anything else has changed up here since I vlogged before, but we've got our little seating area. Bit too much on the windowsills for my liking, but they are. We've got a little fire, electric fire over there, which just takes the chill off the room, but not much. And yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I really do love this room. A few clothes out, I'm afraid, and a bucket of digestive biscuits, of course. So, but yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think a fire will just top it off beautifully. So I'll leave you with another picture of my Zoe and George. We had such fun. Next time I'll show you how the fireplace turned out, and if we managed to get the log burner back into one piece. So until then, keep safe and well. À bientôt!